Hey y'all, it's K Divine. I don't know what to say really right now. Um this whole situation has been odd to say the least. Um like I don't even know what to say. This has been very torturous. The lengths that people will go to hurt you, just I always knew there were evil people because I grew up in a household that where I watched evil take place, Like I grew up always scared. I grew up never knowing what was going to happen, and just that's why I had anxiety for so many years. And like coming into the understanding of really what this world is and like what's really going on is really sad. Like I'm just like I just the last couple of days I have just been thinking about everything that's happened to me just within the last couple of years, not even my entire life, but just the last couple of years, going from, I think I've mentioned this before, but I almost died during childbirth. That was really scary, and the recovery was brutal. And then returning to work and being bullied, and then lies being spread about me and being ostracized and isolated and harassed. And I was given more work than other people. I had higher expectations of me than everyone else on the team. They were telling people lies about me, turning people against me that I didn't even know, like made me public enemy number one. The people at my apartment complex, I don't know what they were trying to do. My intuition tells me that they was trying to kill me or sacrifice me or use me for something. I'm not really quite sure. But all of that stuff was like orchestrated together. And excuse me, I had a what I would consider a revelation last night where I realized that this this was all a plan for a very long time, because when I first moved into that apartment complex, I had a 2-bedroom townhome before I moved to the 1-bedroom apartment. And they had been stealing my mail for a while, because there were like I had bought some pieces of jewelry, some customized jewelry pieces, some necklaces, and a couple other things that did not come through the mail. Like, or they said that they were delivered, but every time I would go check my mailbox it wasn't there. They had no problem putting the junk mail and all that other stuff in there, but they they just wouldn't get they were stealing my stuff for a long time. And I remember like my mom and my sister, when I would tell them about stuff that was going on, they would like hype me up to like, you know, be nasty about the whole situation. Like, oh well, I would call the company and I would tell them like if they don't send you another one that they gonna have to pay for it, blah blah. And I really took on some of that like energy and being like, yeah, I need my stuff. And it's like it wasn't the company's fault, because and I realized this like a couple of months ago, because I had ordered a bag to send clothes into so that I could get credit at this store, this online store, and I never received the bag. And I spent like $20 or something on it, and I had told the company like can I have a refund because I never received it. And but then it came in the mail like a few months ago, all of a sudden. And I'm like, I ordered this over a year ago, and now all of a sudden it's coming in the mail. So these people had been withholding my mail. They had been opening my mail. So like, and then they turned the entire city against me, and I don't even know. They spread lies about me to anybody who would listen, and I really don't understand it. I don't get this at all. It's like I'm just realizing that everything is fake. Like I kind of feel like I'm living through like the Truman Show. And it's so crazy because that's one of my favorite movies, and it's probably one of my favorite Jim Carrey movies that he's ever done. But it feels kind of like the Truman Show. Like everybody's in on a secret. Everybody knows what's going on except for me. Because nobody would come up to me and tell me what was said about me. Nobody, I remember I had like an Amazon delivery person that like dropped packages off one day, and like she ran back to her van like she was terrified like something bad was going to happen to her. And I'm like, what is going on? I know that there probably were people who said things about me like, oh, she's a witch. um I know for a fact that some people were receiving karma, and it wasn't because of anything that I did, it was because of what they did. Like there were some people at my job, like it was back to back, like within weeks of each other, at least like 3 people, no, 4 people lost family members. Two of them lost their dads, one lost a mother, one lost a grandfather. And I guess they were blaming that on me, saying that I was like doing hexes on people, or I was sending out negative energy, and that I was just bitter and mad because I stepped down from that position. And I guess they were taking that as like spinning it as, oh, well, she just couldn't cut it. She was never good enough to do it. And oh, we can make another one. Like, yeah, she did a decent job, but we can find better type of deal. Like all of this stuff was fake because it's like my family knew about what was going on, because it's not a coincidence that when stuff started to really crumble down, that all of a sudden my family starts acting real weird. Like my sister stopped coming around me. uh she had come grab some stuff from me when I was moving from the townhome to the apartment. And she had babysat my daughter for me. I want to say Memorial Day of last year. Yeah. And when I came back home, she had like thrown my stuff around in my apartment, and I was just like, why would she do that? But now I like looking back at it, I realized like she did that because she wanted to start an argument with me. Like she wanted me to be upset. She wanted to start a fight. Like what I'm realizing is like a lot of people betrayed me, and then were trying to cause drama to justify the reason why they betrayed me, so that they could, so they could sleep well at night, so they could feel better about it. Because they all know that they didn't have a reason to do this. They didn't have a reason to betray me like this. Like, you know, I am grateful that I at least have my car to sleep in. I'm glad that I'm not like sleeping out on the sidewalk or on the street or something like that. I'm grateful for that. But this has been really difficult. The other thing that's difficult is like the communication with my ex. Like that's probably the hardest thing right now because it's like I want to talk to my daughter, but I don't want to talk to him because he knows exactly what's going on and he's like trying to still provoke me into um arguments, still trying to trying to tell me like, oh well, why would I give her back if you can't talk to me? Because really, what they're trying to make me do is they're trying to make me talk about what's happening so that they can say like, yeah, you're crazy. Because that what they've been trying to do for a long time is say that I'm mentally ill and unstable and that I need professional help because they want me to be in a psych ward. They want me to be deemed as incompetent, so that whatever it is that they took from me or whatever it is they're trying to hold back from me, that they can have it for themselves. And then you know how like they put Britney Spears and Amanda Bynes under a conservation, is that what it is, conservationship, is that what it is? If correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure if that's the correct word or not, but that's pretty much what they want. They that's pretty much what they're trying to do. Like they want to be in control of whatever assets belong to me that were supposed to be gifted and given to me. That was these people's goal. And that's why I'm saying like all of this was fake. Like my friendships were fake because I feel like some of like even the people that some of the people I grew up with, like maybe in the beginning some of our friendships were cool, but like over the years, like they were tapped on the shoulder about like not helping me. Cause and I've said this before, like I've seen karma play out in people, like play out in people's lives very like soon after they have done something wrong towards me, or like if they wish death upon me. Because like if you wish death upon me, or people who were doing spell work against me that were doing death spells, most of that stuff backfired, and a lot of them had family members that passed away. Because one of my former friends, Spirit tapped me on the shoulder and told me to cut her loose, and was like, she ain't real. And I had just like unfriended her on social media, and it took her a couple days, but maybe she felt that energy leave and she was like, ooh, what's going on? And then she went to go check her Facebook and saw that I had unfriended her. Then she sent me a message like, not I'm unfriended on Facebook, what happened? But at the same time, at part of the reason why I did it at that time was because I asked her to be my daughter's godmother, and she had not come to see her. She had not called to check on her or anything. And I was like, at the very least, I would have expected something, a phone call from you at least once. But she didn't. She didn't seem interested. So I'm like, well, what are we friends for? You know, I'm not asking you for anything. I'm not asking for help, but I want you to be a part of our lives. I want you to want to be a part of our lives, but if you don't, I'm not going to force you. So that's really the reason there. But then, like a few weeks after that, and I was sitting outside and I was doing a voice note on my phone, and I get this text message from her. I had deleted her number, and she told me that her cousin had died. And I was like, that was my confirmation. I was like, you wish death upon me. And I don't know why. And, you know, it's like I pretty much have two cities that are against me when I think about it. It's Flint and it's Ypsi. Um, I was raised in Flint, Michigan, and I had been residing in Ypsilanti since 2014. I briefly lived in Belleville, but it's like right down the street. It ain't that far. Um, but for the most part, I've been in Ypsi since college, which I graduated in 2018. Dang, that feels so long ago. It wasn't, but it was at the same time. But it's like all of this is fake, and it's like I don't know. I just don't know when this ends. Like this is probably the worst that this for me, I would say that this is probably the worst that this whole situation has been, as far as me not having any place to go. I don't have many resources left. And it's crazy because making this video, I'm looking at my face and I was like, I do not look like what I'm going through right now. Like, I was able to, like, I do come out to this park and I like wash my face and like try to clean up in the bathroom and stuff like that. I was going to a different park, but it's further away. And I figured since this one is closer to where I'm at, like, it's a little bit, and the bathroom is private. Like, it's, you know, I like that better. Um, but I just don't know anymore. I don't know what's happening. So I do have a gang stalker here. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about him too much, but I do want to just mention it. I do have a gang stalker here. He was here before I arrived, and it's because I've been coming here every day. So they're tracking my whereabouts and figuring out where I'm going. Although this particular person does come to where I sleep, and he's there every night, but he's usually gone before I get up. So it's like, so the fact that he's out here today is weird because I haven't seen him in any other places that I've been. I just want my life back, you know? I'm tired and I don't know what to do. It's like I've been fighting y'all. I need y'all to really understand this. Like, January 8th, 2024 is the day that I heard God's voice. I was having a conversation, a very hard discussion with my boss at the time, because there was some, like I said, I was being bullied at my job. And there was a girl who I had trained, and I thought was my friend at one point. Excuse me. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm really tired. She was messing with my phone queue settings and all of this weird stuff. And so I had asked her about it, and I was like, what, and she was like, this is what I was told to do or whatever. And I'm like, what? So then it happened a few times, and then January came around, and at this point, just the month prior, I had started doing my research on narcissism, and specifically gearing like towards my mother. Like, covert narcissistic mothers is what I was researching at the time and how it was resonating. And I was like, and then it just started making me look at narcissism in general and the behavior patterns. And it's like, I have a degree in psychology, so it's like these are things that I never really considered, because there's not a lot of reported narcissists. But the reason why there aren't a lot of reported narcissists is because narcissists don't believe that there's anything wrong with them. They don't think that most of them don't think they need therapy. Now, there has been more diagnosed and self-aware narcissists that are coming online and healing and trying their best to change. They'll all be in therapy for the rest of their lives, and they all know that. And I think it's great that they are making that type of content. But most people who are narcissists will never come to the conclusion of saying that they are a narcissist and they are wrong. I think I might actually start heading back. Starting to feel kind of, but what was I saying? But that's when I started doing that research. And I promise you, when I tell you, when I tell you, when I heard, because I was having this discussion with him, and I was just like, this is an abuse of power. Like, why is this happening? Like, why is this acceptable behavior from one of your team leads? Like, why is this okay? Especially for the people who, like I said, I trained these people. I like they was my sons as far as I'm concerned. Like, without me, none of them would have had any of the skill sets that they had, you know. And I don't mean to sound conceited when I say that, but I really was really good at my job. I was really good at what I was doing. And I'm very prideful about the work that I do, and I was, like I said, I was good. I was good at my job. And I could tell on his face, like, he found it so entertaining to see me hurt by their actions. Because at that point I was like, well, let's have a meeting, let's discuss this. Like, what's the issue? Like, because I kept saying, like, is there some underlying issue that I need to discuss with them? Like, what's the problem? Because nobody is coming to me directly and telling me what the issue is, yet there's all of this hidden hate, all this hidden animosity. And I'm like, I don't do this. I'm a direct person. If you have something that you'd like to say to me, you better say it with your whole chest to my face. Okay? I don't play those I don't respect a single person that throws stones and hides their hands. I don't respect that type of behavior, and I don't accept it in my life, because at the end of the day, you want to somehow have access to me, yet you will not respect me nor my boundaries, and I will not stand for that any longer in my life. I will not have people believing that they have some sort of control over my reactions. I will not have that. You don't get to dictate who I am. You don't get to say, oh, well, all I got to do is play this and do that, and then all of a sudden she's going to do X, Y, Z. No, you don't get to make those decisions. I make the decisions in who I am, okay? And these people thought they understood me. But see, this is how I know. This is what I keep telling y'all, that your enemies really don't know you. Because when I tell you, I audibly heard the Lord's voice tell me to be still, and that is exactly what I did. And they wanted me to argue. They wanted me to fight them. They wanted me to defend myself and over-explain myself and be like, I deserve better. I deserve to be treated better. I do. But I'm not going to beg you. I'm not begging a single soul for the bare minimum. Absolutely not. I will not do that. I will not beg you to respect me. If you don't, I will move away from you. There's nothing, Lord have mercy. It is okay for people not to like you. That is totally acceptable. We as humans are not meant to all like each other. There's nothing wrong with that. But being disrespectful to people is out of this world crazy to me. For no reason. Like, people justify their disrespect because, oh, well, I don't like her, I don't like him. It's like, that's not a good reason. Leave that person alone. And they just couldn't do that. And the crazy thing is that that's what they were planning for. See, and this is what I said before, that this was something in the making for a long time. They had been planning this for a long time. Okay? Like, they had been telling people all these different lies and stuff about me, and COVID helped. COVID was helping because they were able to, have meetings and stuff in secret before we started coming back into the office. So they was talking amongst themselves, doing whatever, and I was out the loop. When I was in that manager position, I was in the meetings. I knew what was going on and everything. But once I got out the loop, that's when I started to become the topic of conversations and discussions. And those people were not expecting me to They weren't expecting me to do what I did. They were hoping that I was going to crumble. They thought I was going to feel inadequate, or that I wasn't good enough. But honestly, if you got a group of people coming together to try to destroy you, you have to understand how powerful that is. You have to understand how great you are when you got, because it's like, if I was such a weak person, if I'm nothing like you say I am, then fight me by yourself. It should have been easy for one person to be able to take me down. But they got groups and groups and groups of people. They are recruiting people from all over the fucking state. People I don't know, people who have never met me. You got to recruit all of these people for me. For me. Just for me. That doesn't sound like a weak person to me. Y'all gotta understand that. If you got groups of people coming up against you, you are the furthest thing from the weakest link. They are afraid of you. Because people, I say this all the time, thieves don't rob empty homes. Thieves don't rob empty homes. If they really thought that it was going to be easy to take you down, they would have did it a long time ago. The sad part for me, sorry y'all. The sad part for me right now though is I just don't know where the end of this goes. I'm exhausted. I feel like I've lost everything twice in a way. Because it's like I lost everything with the whole apartment situation, and now it's like, now I really don't have nothing for real right now. You know, I still got my cat. She's still with me. I mean, I tried to surrender her, but I couldn't find no shelter or humane society that would take her. They were all telling me that there was like wait lists and stuff, or some of them just flat out didn't call me back. So she's just chilling with me. And it's been 3 weeks since I've been out here like this. And I know that's not like an extreme long time, but it's like I'm not built for stuff like this. Like I have really bad allergies and I'm very sensitive. My skin is very sensitive, and this is taking a toll on my body. And not to mention, like, you know, I have food scarcity, so I'm not eating very much, and I'm having to walk a lot because I can't use my car. And so it's like I'm burning way more calories than I'm intaking, so I'm losing weight rapidly to the point where I don't even think I'm in a size small anymore. I think I've graduated to an extra small, which is crazy because I'm like, wait, I haven't been an extra small. I don't think I've ever really been an extra small. Well, high school for a little bit, at least in the bottom, not in the top. So. But yeah, all of this is fake. Like all of this has been orchestrated, and I don't know who can relate to that. Like, because I was even thinking about, like, I've said this about like my former best friend. Like, he was recruited a long time ago to come and talk to me and make me feel comfortable, and he was infiltrating everything, giving my enemies information about me and everything. Like, he had been the ultimate betrayer for the longest time, and I trusted him, and I loved him, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. We were, what I want to call it, we were friends with benefits for a while. And my inkling was that we was going to maybe make it official, because he was doing stuff for me that he wasn't doing for other girls. And maybe that was his plan the whole time. But you know what? I would have risked it all for him too. For a long time I thought about it. But when he made it clear what he wanted, and I was like, all right then. I still love you, but I ain't gonna force you. I ain't gonna force you to stay with me. If you don't want me, don't talk to me. Like, you know. And I accepted that. But once we both started dating respectively, that's kind of when our relationship started to decline, because we focused on our relationships. And then I got pregnant. And then things completely changed after that. My friend group dismantled just right before I got pregnant too. It was a trio. It was 3 of us. And Erica, she didn't her and Montellis was getting into it a lot, and they ended up falling out. And then me and Erica fell out, and then later on, me and Montellis never stopped being cool. We just didn't talk as much. And then eventually we fell out last year because he just couldn't do right. And he knew that I knew that he was playing around with me. I didn't mean to drop names, but no, well, they're there. There they are. Who cares? I mean, this is my story, so it doesn't really matter to me. They all the people know what they did. Every single one of them. I didn't mean for this video to be this long, but I do just want to make it, a point to say, like, I realized, ooh, a monarch butterfly. That I'm realizing that, like, all of this stuff really was just fake. Like, it was fake. It was all orchestrated. And that's why I said, like, when I tell you, like, this was prophesied over my life, like, something, like, they knew that this was going to happen, like, they knew that there was going to be something like this. They always knew that this was going to be it was going to be something like this. Because when I was 8 years old, my stepdad gave me a poem, and I may have mentioned this before. It was called Being Black in the Workplace. And the first lines of it, you could go look it up, is they take my kindness for weakness. They take my silence for speechless. They call my uniqueness strange. They call my language slang. Like, he gave that to me when I was 8 years old, right? I was 8. And it resonated back then. And I didn't understand why. I didn't understand why. I just knew. But I knew it meant something to me. I just didn't know how or why. And then when all of this started happening, the white butterfly, when all of it started happening, when things started to go down and things started to transpire, that's when that poem came to mind again. And I was reading it, and I even sent it to one of my coworkers who ended up betraying me too. She had ended up going to a different department and getting a better position within the company, and then after that she decided to not be cool with me, which is her business. That's her that's definitely her prerogative. I don't know. You got to understand, when people decide to betray you and it really doesn't seem like there's a rhyme or reason, those people never liked you to begin with. They never cared for you. Maybe they liked being in close proximity to you because of how they could whatever they could benefit from you at the time. So, but once people can't benefit from you, a lot of them do end up falling off. That's just how the cookie crumbles. That's how the cookie crumbles. So, although these people were successful in destroying my life, as far as, like, this is where I'm at right now. One thing that they didn't destroy was me. They took everything from me, But one thing all of this taught me, it really built me up, though. It built me up to recognizing and understanding that I'm who I say I am, not who you want me to be.
You can believe all day that you can tell people that I'm a criminal, I'm a thief, I'm a liar, I'm a cheater. You can tell people all of those things, but the truth will always remain the truth. And lies can't outlive the truth because the truth is infinite. The truth is infinite. The truth is always going to come out eventually. And the more you lie, the harder things get for you, because you have to keep remembering all the lies that you told. And that's why I feel like it's so much more beneficial and easier to live within your truth. But a lot of these folks don't understand that. A lot of people want quick fixes and, instant gratification. They don't really want to work for the things that they're supposed to work for. So I say all this to say, like, I realize how fake everything is for real. Like, a lot of the, like, for some of y'all might come to that realization too, that some of your family members have consistently sent people towards you to keep you in a low vibration, because you are meant to be the generational curse breaker. You were always meant to be different than everybody else. And a lot of these people, like, they just don't feel like they would benefit very much if it was you. I don't know why. They it's like that jealousy. They get jealous. They feel like, well, I don't want them to have that because, well, then I can't have it, and I don't want them looking better than me. So they would prefer that you not have it at all. Can you just let that sink in for a second? That you have people around you, friends, family, co-workers, that don't want you to have something simply because they don't want you to look better than them. Some people don't want you to get a higher and better position in your job because they don't want you they don't want you to be above them in any way, shape, or form. They feel like you should be beneath them, and they are sticking to that. That's literally how they feel. And so that's why you need to use your discernment, and you need to pray to the Most High and ask for protection. And when I say pray for discernment, I mean truly pray for discernment, and ask the Most High to show you all the red flags. But not only show you the red flags, you need to see them, and don't try to change it. If someone is if someone is showing you exactly who they are, don't make excuses. Don't say, oh, well, they're just having a bad day. Oh, well, maybe it's something I did or something I said. No, that's who that person is. And God is revealing who they are to you so that you can make a better decision, so that you can move around, so that you can protect your energy. You have to protect your energy. And I know it's hard and it's been difficult. And I'm saying that from, look at me. I've been doing these videos like this for a couple weeks now. So y'all have seen the progression, how I started from the hotels, and now this is where I'm at with it. I'm doing the best that I can. It doesn't help either when you got people watching you. And you got people making false accusations about you. Like I said, like people going around calling you a criminal and saying that you do wrong. And it's like, I've never done anything like that. I have zero criminal record. I don't even have any points on my license. I've never gotten a speeding ticket or anything like that. I've been pulled over all of 3 times. I did get pulled over for speeding once, but I was coming off of the freeway and the officer let me off with a warning. I think I read a red light once coming home to Flint from Ann Arbor years, 10 years ago. That officer let me off with a warning. And then just recently, a few weeks ago, my rear lights weren't on, and the officer stopped me and helped me out with that and let me go. So, but I've never had any, like I said, I've never had no points or nothing on my license. So, I don't do stuff like that. I don't steal from people. There's nothing that anyone has that I want. I have always tried to do things the honest way. I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but I'm not that person that these people have tried to paint me out to be. And it's like they only were doing that so that they could cover up the lies that they told And I just hope and pray that, you know, something good happens for me soon, because I've been going through it for a long time, like a very, very long time. And it's been very difficult. And I'm just ready to be done, you know. I'm ready to be done with this. I'm ready to get back on my feet and I'm ready to just, you know, rebuild, because it's been such a tough road. And the way that these people have gone about it, like, there's a lot of people that are working against me that I don't even know. I've never met these people. They know me, but I don't know them. So I don't know. I'm not really sure what the future holds at this time. It's been a very, very tough road. I've been trying to remain positive, knowing that everything is temporary, and, you know, things are going to get better one day. I just don't know when. I don't know. But I'm praying, and I'm praying for y'all too. I'm praying for y'all breakthroughs. I might come back on here and do a couple more readings. I've been doing a lot of readings, but they've been very personal for me, so I haven't really felt like recording any. But I'll definitely come back on here and try to get a reading or two done for you guys, even maybe an oracle reading as well. If I can, I'm gonna see if I can create my own little deck, because there's some stuff I want to investigate. I don't have the tools. Not yet, but we'll see how things go. But I love y'all. Thank you if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for staying and listening and watching. I really do appreciate that. And listening to my story, because this is a crazy ass story. And I know some of y'all got some crazy stories too, especially talking about gang stalking and family betrayals, and, you know, because that's really what this is. This is a story of family betrayal that this was elaborate, okay? This is my family trying to sacrifice me. This is my family trying to, you know, steal from me. They tried to lie and say that I was mentally ill and unstable. They got it all in court records and stuff too. I know they got fake doctors' notes and documentation done on me. Especially my mom, as sneaky as she is, and she has all my information. Like, these people have stolen all of my stuff, like my mail, my IDs, like my identity in some way. I'm not sure exactly how they've done all of this, but like I said, they've been successful in destroying my life, which is why I'm so confused as to why these people are still watching me. Because it's like, why do they feel the need to watch me? Or maybe they just find it entertaining to watch me struggle. Maybe that's really what it is. But like I said, I'm praying for y'all. Sorry, it's loud. I'm praying for y'all. I hope things get better. I don't know. If things don't start shaking and moving, I'm just gonna have to, you know, if it's not happening now, then I'm just gonna have to try to, you know, I'm gonna have to try to figure it out. I know that vindication is coming, though, eventually. It has to. Because I've been too solid. I ain't been out on social media, you know, crying. I ain't been out here begging nobody for nothing. I've just been taking my L's. Because there's nothing else I can do. I don't have any power or control like these people do. And I did everything I could in my power to do what I could at the time. You know, that money that I had, it helped. It helped for a while. It kept me afloat for a while. But I didn't foresee this part coming. I thought that I thought the ending was closer, and I was wrong. So, you know, oh, I thought that was a beehive that's just rest. But like I said, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. I don't mind working, but it's been a little difficult for me to get a job, so we'll see how things go. I'm gonna keep trying. I'm not giving up. I'm just tired. I'm weary. Things just have not been working out, and it's difficult. It's hard. It just sucks. And I can't go back. Can't go back to them people. So, yeah. Well, I love y'all. Thank you for watching. It's your girl, K Divine. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.